recording from Cusco. We got here yesterday afternoon and I kind of like crashed. We had 2-hour train ride, 2-hour bus ride through the mountains. And with the altitude and my motion sickness, I was just like, I think I'm done. So we did like a little local exploring in the afternoon, got some hot chocolate, which I'm sure you've seen by now in this vlog. And today we are all good to go. So I'm feeling totally fine, ready to go get some breakfast. This is my outfit of the morning. I might change for the afternoon if it gets hotter, but I think it's in the 40s right now outside. So we're at high elevation and the weather's gonna be a little chilly.
Buenas noches and welcome back to this vlog series. Today in this video we are going to the Qorikancha. Now I have a few notes on the Qorikancha. We had an amazing tour with our guide Ide. Ide is the best. We love Ide. But I wanted to get these facts clearly out from the gate so that you can kind of watch this video and enjoy while having these things in mind. So the first thing I wanted to share was that the word Cusco means navel. It was Cusco, and I'll try and put that spelling on the bottom, the Quechua spelling that they have for it. But the Inca believed that they were in the center of the world. So their concept of the world is called the Tawantinsuyu. It's divided into kind of 4 quarters of the world. And they believed Cusco was the center of that. And then they believed that the Qorikancha was the center of the center, or the navel of the navel, so to speak, which is really, really cool. So what was the Qorikancha? The Qorikancha was a compound with a bunch of different temples to various Inca gods, including the god of lightning, the god of thunder, the god of the rainbow, and predominantly the god of the sun. So that's what it's primarily known for, this temple. The temples were constructed in stone, but silver plated, except for the temple to the sun, which was plated in gold. And the word Qorikancha, cancha is still used in Spanish. It's like if you have a cancha, I think is kind of like a soccer field. They use that term for that, if I'm not mistaken. But it means like an area of land, like a plot of land, I guess. And they used it, I believe, also to designate like the area for a house. So it's kind of just like this enclosed area. But the Qorikancha was kind of translates to like a courtyard in gold, so like the golden courtyard, not the golden accordion, which is what I thought Ide said and I wrote down, and I was like, oh, that's embarrassing. That was totally me. Okay, so the Inca had this really important temple, but it was a royal temple, so only royalty could worship there. Commoners could not go into worship, which Ide explained to us pretty well in Machu Picchu about how different levels of society had different gods that they worshipped and different places where they worshipped those gods. So what happened when the Spanish came? Well, the Spanish were not pleased with a temple to various gods, so naturally it was partially destroyed by the Spanish. Not completely destroyed, but partially destroyed, and they erected a Catholic church and convent on top. Now, I need to do some more research on why certain ones are called convents, because today we associate nuns with convents and monasteries with like friars. And so the Dominicans were friars, but this was a convent, but it wasn't nuns. Anyway, I think it's terminology that was very specific and has changed or adapted over time. So this was Dominican friars were there, but it's the Convento de Santo Domingo, the convent of Saint Dominic, and that was built on top of, the temple to the sun god, etc. But again, it wasn't completely destroyed, so you can still visit the Qorikancha, as you're going to see in this video, and you can see and go into the temples, and then there's also an area for the Catholic Church, which is fascinating. Now, this is pretty wild that the Dominicans who founded the Convent of Santo Domingo, that was near 1538. I found it on their website. 1538, they were with Francisco Pizarro, like they came over with him on his expedition, is what Ide explained to us. So they were there from the start. And I think I definitely need to do a video in the future about I don't know, this could it's such a tough topic, but colonialism and the sharing of the faith in these colonial times didn't always go the best, would definitely be very different today. And I think the mission that the Dominicans have in Peru today is truly honoring the indigenous peoples who are there and meeting them where they're at and honoring their culture, which is super, super cool. And you'll see that a little bit when we get into the church. I can't wait to talk about it. So hope you enjoyed this video. Let's go to the Qorikancha. In the temple of the sun god in the Qorikancha, the part that remains that you can still get into is here, and this is one of the coolest moments of my life. Say hi, Sam. Qorikancha. Part of the video that I said at the beginning of this video that I was really excited for. In the church of Santo Domingo, or I guess in the upper part, which was modeled like a coro, so a choir, chorister, translation's not good, like a choir, but also kind of a place where the Dominicans would pray the liturgy of the hours. So different times of the day they'd come together as a community and sit in their little kind of cell seats and pray. there was all this beautiful modern artwork, and it took me a while to kind of put together what was going on, but I want to like lay it out for you. So you're going to see Dominicans of, I guess, first, second, and third order. So in the Catholic Church, if you are a religious, there's different degrees that you can be in a religious order. So you can be, you know, a fully professed nun or priest or sister, etc. You could be like a monk, a brother, like there's all different variations of what you can do. But if you were, for example, like a third order, that's usually lay people living in the world. So it's not people living in the religious order, living the strict life of like a priest or nun, but it's someone living the charism of that order as a lay person. So they had pictures of Dominican saints from all different walks of life, which was fascinating. And then above each Dominican saint, you're going to see a painting of like a little angel. But the angels, this blew my mind. This was like my favorite thing I saw in this church. The paintings of the angels are all indigenous children, and they're dressed like in modern clothes, but they have beautiful wings. I just thought this idea was ingenious. I thought it was really beautiful to honor indigenous communities and to kind of bring light to how things, you know, go now that we understand that all different cultures have so much value to them. So when we are presenting an idea of faith to someone else, introducing our religious beliefs to someone else, we can learn from the culture they're starting with. We don't necessarily need to take away everything in the culture that they have to introduce the beliefs that we have to share with them. So I thought this was such an interesting conversation piece, but like so beautifully done and so modern, mixed with something so ancient. So wow. Leave some comments below. Let me know your thoughts. I tried to find an article or anything talking about it, and I couldn't. I might need to go deeper. I might need to look more in Spanish. But if I find anything, it'll be below. If you have anything, let me know. This was mind-blowing. Go ahead, take a piece.
That's a big thing.